Hi guys, Nathan Metal Down Under here. Time for another video, and this is going to be a contest entry for Rob over at Blackstar Vinyl. You'll know him. A really nice guy, has a massive collection, big fan of hair metal, AOR, thrash, power metal, female fronted metal, which I love too, so we share common interest there. And he's just reached a milestone of 500 plus subs. Well and truly above 500 now, so congratulations, and there's some really cool questions. One of them really quite strange, but I really enjoyed it. So the first question was, wants us to name our fantasy music lineup. So there'll be 5 singers, 5 guitarists, 5 drummers, 5 bassists, and then you can also add an extra 5 to the mix as well. So I'll get on with that question first, and I'll start off with the singers. For me, the first one has to be Chuck Billy from the mighty Testament, my all-time favourite thrash metal singer. In actual fact, my all-time favourite thrash metal band. I believe, in my personal opinion, they blow the big 4 out of the water. Anthrax, Megadeth, great bands too. Metallica and Slayer, great bands, but they're not my favourites. Metallica used to be, not so much now. But Chuck Billy, just an amazing voice. Just can't believe he just came back from cancer. He also had a coronavirus scare, and yeah, he's still on top of the world and can still sing like a champion. Deep growls, typical thrash voice also. But yeah, loving their new album. Still need to pick it up on vinyl or CD. Very expensive over here, so I haven't grabbed it yet. But Chuck Billy, just amazing. Can't go wrong with a bit of Chuck Billy. Next one, this band here, Europe, and that is Joey Tempest, lead singer. Yeah, what else? What can I say about Joey? Always loved his voice. Ever since I discovered them back in 1988, and I'll go into a little bit more on that later on. But yeah, just love his voice. He's a bit more bluesy in his voice now, which I'm not quite so into. But back in the 80s and early 90s, the hard rock style, can't go past a bit of Joey Tempest, I should say. Yeah, amazing singer. Joey Tempest from Sweden. Next we have one of my definitely in my top 5 singers of all time, and that is Ricky Warwick from The Almighty. I've got a few notes here because my mind's not so good anymore. Just such a gritty hard rock voice. Certainly not hair metal, but just gritty as hell. Never mistake his voice. I love it. Ever since I heard the album Power Trippin', I've been a fan of his solo stuff as well, and especially of The Almighty. Just a great singer, Ricky Warwick, and a great frontman. And then we have Sally Erner from Godsmack. This is their debut album, their best by far in my opinion. He's also a great drummer. If you've watched any of his live DVDs, he plays drums, does a jam with their drummer, and he just kills it. Such an amazing frontman. Really nice guy too, I believe, in person. I've never met him, I'd love to. But yeah, he's got a massive stage presence, and he's always full of life, and he kills it on stage. I've got a couple of live concerts of his on DVD, Godsmack, and yeah, Sally's voice, yeah, brilliant. And what I've decided to do, since I love my female fronted music, I'm picking a female for each category. And for the singer, I'm probably going to butcher some of these names, but Serena Talley, and from Burning Witches. It's a shame she's not in the band anymore. For what reason, I'm not sure. The new singer's great too, but yeah, I just loved Serena. Great, raspy, gritty voice, brilliant live, and yeah, I love her sound. Reminiscent of a bit of Judas Priest, but yeah, I really enjoy it, and this is a fantastic album. So, Serena Talley, I probably butchered it, was it Serenia? I'm not sure, but yeah, love her stuff. Just wish you, hopefully she puts out some more music with either solo or with another band. So that is my 5 singers. Next we'll go on to the guitarists. And this is a guitarist you never hear spoken of anymore anyway. He's been out of this band. In actual fact, I have no idea where he is. I have heard from a few people, but I've forgotten. But he just went out of the public spotlight for me anyway. And that is Dan Spitz, original guitarist, lead guitarist with Anthrax. I don't know what it was, but there's something about his guitar work back in the 80s that really struck a chord with me. And I just think he's an absolutely brilliant, amazing guitarist who needs more recognition, even though he's been out of Anthrax for many a year now. Yep, Dan Spitz. Then we have Alex Skolnick from Testament. It's great to see him back in the band since 2010, I believe, with almost the original lineup. Shreds it, absolutely shreds. I love all the stuff Testament did without him, but it's so brilliant to have him back on the latest 4 albums. Yeah, Alex Skolnick. And then we have, I must say rest in peace, Mr. Randy Rhoads. Died well and truly before his time. He had a lot more to prove on the guitar. Ozzy loved him, and so did I. I would love to take a trip to his gravesite, and possibly even the site where the accident happened back in 1981 or 82. But yeah, so sad that we lost Randy Rhoads in his prime. Really young guy and amazing on guitar. So I've picked Randy Rhoads. And as I said, I'll pick a female as well. And I am going with Nita Strauss, formerly of the band the Iron Maidens, which I was lucky enough to see a couple of years ago. Unfortunately, she had left the band by then, but she absolutely shreds, and this is her debut solo album. Yeah, but she also is the lead guitarist for the one and only Alice Cooper, and I've seen him live with Nita Strauss twice now, and yeah, the whole band gel, and she kills it on stage. Such a great presence on stage, plus she's a looker too, which always helps. But Nita Strauss from the Alice Cooper band. And then last for guitars, we are going, I think that's how you pronounce his name, Key Marcello from Europe. Took over on this album after John Norum left, and yeah, he just fitted the shoes really nicely in place of John Norum, and love this album, you know I do, and can't go wrong with his guitaring on this particular album anyway. I just love his guitar work. The tunes are just masterpieces. So that's my 5 guitars. Next we're going to go with bass, and I think pretty much everybody has picked that I've seen anyway, this person, and that is Steve Harris from Iron Maiden, the man behind Iron Maiden, the main songwriter, and you know it's Iron Maiden just from the bass. Constantly hear that bass flying through all of the songs, and yeah, unmistakable Steve Harris. It's a great bass player. Also we now have two from the same band. Hopefully there wasn't a rule against that. And first one off this album, Master of Puppets. And we have the legendary Cliff Burton, who also died before his time. Same year this album was released, back in 1986, in a bus crash in, might have been Copenhagen, Denmark, somewhere over in Europe anyway. Yeah, love his bass work. It's not very often you can have a bass solo on an album. And what was the name of it? Anesthesia Pulling Teeth. And yeah, he did the bass solo on the album, and yeah, never heard those tones come out of a bass before until I heard Cliff Burton, and yeah, just brilliant. Not much else you can say about some of these players, these artists. They just kill it. Still today, most of them. Rest in peace, Mr. Cliff Burton. And then I'm going for the new kid, Jason Newsted. Came on board in a tough time in the Metallica camp, and was called New Kid and picked on for a lot of years. But I just absolutely love Jason Newsted. He was around when I first actually discovered the band, and at the time I was unaware about Cliff Burton. And I've always just loved when he had his long hair, how on stage he had the shaved sides, had the long hair, and he'd do this sort of like helicopter around with his hair. Must have absolutely killed his neck. But yeah, he came into his own and was in the band for many years. And originally came from Flotsam and Jetsam, another great band. But yeah, I used to love Jason Newsted. So yeah, Jason Newsted. Who else do we have here? Next of all, you never forget this sound. You know it's this band as soon as you hear it. And I'm going for D.D. Verney from Overkill. The bass is present the whole time through every single song, and he's just amazing. Been in the band since the start, and yeah, he'll always be there, I would say, for their career. Just an awesome bassist. Always love that thudding bass and the Overkill sound, especially on this album, Wide Fucking Open, or WFO, to be more polite. The bass is just almost plays over top of the guitar, and it's absolutely brilliant. So D.D. Verney is in my my fantasy list. And last of all, the female artist, I am picking, now I'm going to butcher this name, oh no I won't, Monica Perulli, out of the band Alight. Never seen this band shown before. Really young, talented bass player, real good stage presence, always dressed up in black, leather jackets and leather pants. Yeah, and really good on the bass. She actually does bass clinics and all sorts. I'm friends with her on Facebook, and yeah, love her light, and I love Monica's bass playing. So that's for the bass. How long are we going for? 14 minutes. Now, finally, we go for the drums. First one I'm going to pick is another Godsmack drummer, and that is Shannon Larkin. Yeah, he's just amazing. Awesome drum kit, and he just kills it. Yeah, I love it. can't go wrong with a bit of Shannon Larkin. He's been around for many years in the music industry and is still going strong today. Hits the drums hard and is just an amazing, accomplished drummer. So yep, Shannon Larkin from Godsmack. He was in another band previous to this, but I cannot remember what it was right now. Brain fart. Then we have, and I don't have an album from this band, Luana Lira from the Brazilian thrash metal band Nervosa. She's amazing, really young, talented drummer, and she pounds the drums so bloody hard. I'm surprised she doesn't go through them. I've seen her break a few drumsticks, and the double kick drum, just awesome. Yeah, so Nervosa, Luana Lyra from Nervosa. Unfortunately, she just left the band along with the bass player and the singer. But they've got a whole new lineup now. Can't wait to hear some new sounds from them. And hopefully Luana goes on to other bands. Next one I'm going for, tell who it's going to be just by showing this, Iron Maiden, Nico McBrain. What can I say about Nico McBrain? I've always been just paralysed watching him drum, and his drum rig is something to die for. The amount of drums he has on stage with him, yeah, I wouldn't even know where to start hitting them. Yeah, Nico McBrain, been around in Iron Maiden for many years now, still going strong even for an old guy. Amazing drummer. What else we got here? And then we have another rest in peace to Nick Menza, who actually performed on this album, his first album he performed on. Rest in peace, Negative. Yeah, best time frame period in my opinion for Megadeth. This and the following two albums. Great time in their career, along with Marty Friedman. There's Nick there, died a number of years ago now. But yeah, such a fantastic drummer, fantastic album. Great sound on this album from Nick Negative and Nick Menza. And the last one, going for a bit of symphonic metal and a Nightwish. The album Once, and the drummer Jaka, I think that's how you pronounce it. He is not in the band anymore. He had to leave due to medical reasons. Really bad insomnia, and it was really having an effect on him. But I wish he was still in the band. They haven't been, in my opinion, they haven't been the same since. The new drummer, can't remember his name, is great, but yeah, Jaka's just got that stage presence and just gels with the band so bloody well. And I just wish he was still performing, even if not with Nightwish, with somebody else. But I just love his drumming. If you want to check out a great clip, check out the song Ghost Loves Score live at Varkin Open Air Festival 2013. It's all over YouTube. Check that out. There's a brilliant performance there. There he is here, Jaka. Can't pronounce his last name, so I'm not going to bother. Yep. And then additional players. Now, what I'm going for is band members who play odd instruments in the metal genre. Now, the first one isn't a metal singer, a metal player, but she could be. She's so talented, so much energy on stage. And that is Lindsay Sterling, who plays the violin. She's just amazing. I'm a big metalhead, but I really enjoy Lindsay Sterling. She's such a talented violinist, kills it on stage, and yeah, it's not metal at all, but she could be. Then I'm going from two people from the same band. That is from Helvete, great band out of Switzerland, and I'm going for Michelina Melez. probably butchered that. And she plays the hurdy-gurdy. And before I ever heard of Alvati, didn't even know what a hurdy-gurdy was. Never heard of it. And I thought when I saw it, I thought, what the hell is that? But it sounds absolutely brilliant when playing along with the guitars and the bass. So if you've never heard of a hurdy-gurdy, check out Alvati. And then the other one from this band, I'm going for Matteo Sisti. Now he plays Irish whistles, flutes, and he also plays the bagpipes. So a very talented guy. Yeah, amazing talent. Then I'm actually going for somebody else on bagpipes. You might have guessed I'm going for Jonathan Davis from Korn. A debut album, a lot of bagpipes on this in particular songs, and I just absolutely love it. Wasn't the biggest fan of this back when it first came out, but as the years have gone on, I've really started to enjoy this album and future albums after this. So, bit of Jonathan. And last one, I'm going for Stefan Smit from acapella, who plays acapella guitar with the band Van Canto. Such a unique band. The only musical instrument on these albums is the drums. Everything else is done from the voice, and he effortlessly sounds like a guitar at times, and it's just brilliant stuff the way they go about doing it, and he kills it. So Van Canto. Next, that's that one. And then the next question was, show 5 albums that have true meaning to you, and you can say why they have a meaning to you. And I'm going to give you a quick meaning. Let's go find them. The first 2 I'm going for are for the same reason, and they are Bon Jovi's Slippery When Wet and Europe's Out of This Time. Now back in 1988, I had the biggest crush on one of my mate's older sisters, and she absolutely loved both of these bands, and that is why I picked them up. And I'm so glad I did, because this turned out to be my favourite album of all time. Hands down my favourite album. To this day, absolutely love it. Every single song. And Slippery When Wet, it's not my favourite Bon Jovi album, that would be New Jersey, but this holds a special place in my heart because of the time, and one of my first crushes. Never got anywhere, but yeah, as it happens when you're a kid. 88, I was 12, so yeah, Bon Jovi and Europe, Out of This World and Slippery When Wet. Next one. Back when this album came out in, I think it was 94, I'd lost interest in music. It had waned when the hair metal went out and grunge came in. But it wasn't until I discovered this album, in particular, by Biohazard, State of the World Address, that my interest grew again. Bit of New York hardcore, loved it. Every single song on this album really tickled me pink. They said New York hardcore from '94. Have a few of the other albums. Absolutely love this album, and it got me out of my musical funk. And around about the same time, I got into Machine Head, that kind of thing. But yeah, bit of Biohazard. And then back in 1991. Sitting school cert, which is our big exams here in New Zealand. It's all changed now. Yeah, 91 it would have been, yes, 91. I would have been 14 or 15. And we had, for our English paper during the year, we had to do an assignment on an item we owned. And I decided to do it on this. And Justice for All by Metallica. I actually had it on cassette back then, and in the exam question at the end of the year, there was a major question on this particular assignment we did, and that is the sole reason why I passed school certificate English, and that's why I hold this one near and dear to my heart. Yep, I could have done it on the black album, but no, did it on Justice for All, and I must have written maybe 20 pages for my assignment, and yeah, got high grades in the actual assignment and then killed it in the exam. So thanks to Metallica, I passed the school certificate English. And then number 5 is this album here, Poisons, Flesh and Blood. Now this, I wish I still had my original vinyl, because this is an album that my grandmother bought me before she died, and I don't know why I ever got rid of my original copy, but this is glad to have it back in the collection now. So yeah, this is near and dear to my heart, with fond memories of my grandmother. So yep, hope you enjoyed that. Hopefully I'm not talking too fast and you can understand me. And the last one, which I thought was quite a strange question, but really, really cool. Give yourself a crown colour and give it a name. So, I'm going with a sort of like a blood red, and I'm going to call it Massacre Red. And the reason being is, I love the band Massacre, and I'm a massive, massive horror fan. As you can see, you've got my Jason there. Love my horror movies, love splatter gore, anything to do with blood and guts. Tickles my fancy. So yeah, blood red, called Massacre Red. Hope you enjoyed that, Rob. Hope you enjoyed that, everybody else. Thanks for doing the contest, and look forward to watching plenty more. Thanks guys, catch you around.